Day 6 of Tantra teacher training course in Agama, Thailand. So the Tantra workshop is finished, and we had, on day 6, we had Swami Vivekananda Saraswati, which is the founder and senior teacher in Agama. So that was a very, very different, very inspiring day with some information that I didn't hear before. We talked a lot about how a teacher should act and present himself, and we talked about some Tantric philosophy. And so there are two things that I'd like to share. The idea with the Tantric philosophy is that Tantrics are active. Tantrics do things. Tantric always take the path of action rather than inaction. And that action should be conscious, should have an intention behind it, should be consecrated, so should be offered to God, to the divine. And the idea with that action is that different than ascetics that say, we hear, but this is an illusion, this is Maya, this is samsara, and we should deny the body. The Tantrics say we should embrace the body. So embracing the body and making it a strong body, a glorious body, so we can make love for hours, so we can do something in the world, so we can express our gifts and our talents and serve the world, serve other people. And also on the other levels, Tantra believes that you should have a lot of energy in your body. So that energy in your energy structure can help you do whatever you're doing in the world. On the emotional body, you might have really, really strong emotions, and some traditions say don't acknowledge the emotions or just witness the emotions, which is also a viable attitude. But what Tantra says is that you can use those emotions. For example, you can move emotions from a lower level, let's say anger and sadness, into a higher level, let's say love or mental lucidity. And also you can use that emotion in order to do something. So even if you have anger, you can use the energy of anger, which is a very dynamic energy, in order to do something. Also on the mental level, you might have a really, really strong mind, and you can do something with your mind. You can harness your mind. You can write articles and do research and so on. So that's a really, really interesting way to see Tantra as a way of action. So instead of, when you're dealing with a challenge, instead of stop doing something that you have done until now, you can take a new habit which would counteract the old habit that you had. Another thing that we explored was the idea of energy circuits. So energy circuits is that when two people hold hands, there's a special way of holding hands. We wouldn't get into this right now, but when you hold hands with another person, you start building an energy circuit, and you start exchanging energy and connecting to each other's energy. And there's a few reasons why you would like to do this. You can do this as a healing thing, so you can send the other person some of your energy or channel to them some of the universal energy. You can feel somebody else on a different level. So usually there's the verbal level. We talk a lot with each other, and by holding somebody's hands and looking into their eyes, or maybe doing it with the eyes closed, and just feeling the energy, we kind of get a different idea of them. And one of the things that I can share, which is related both to energy circuits and also to the idea of transfiguration that we discussed a few days ago, is that I met a girl for a business meeting once, and we kind of had chemistry from the first moment, and I didn't know if I want to kind of change the interaction, but yeah, I really, really fancied her, and she was very special, and it seemed like we had a really good connection. And so after a while I said, let's do a transfiguration. So we held each other's hands, looking at each other's eyes, and really immediately there was like a trance, like a different state of consciousness, and we were both feeling that we were transported. She started shaking, she started to have orgasmic waves going through her, she started kind of like having like gentle convulsions and vibrating and shaking, and I went into a state of awe, into a state of appreciation, into a state of devotion, and like everything I saw in her was amazing. And that led to one of the most amazing relationships I had in my life. That is the relationship that has just finished or is finishing, and I believe that there was a really special importance to the fact that we started from a transfiguration. So here's a suggestion, an idea for you. You can call it the best homework you ever had in your life. With your lover, with your partner, or maybe even with your friend. That can be, let's say, an opposite sex friend or even a same sex friend. Hold hands. You can do the masculine. The man is holding their hands up, and the feminine is putting their hands on the man's hands. And just close your eyes and try to feel each other's energy. Try to feel an energy circuit, so you are receiving from your left and giving out from your right. And if you want, you can also focus on your heart in the same time. So there's kind of like an energy channel created through your hands between your hearts. So tell me how that felt. Tell me if that you had any sensations, you had any feelings. Try to do this for 10 minutes if possible, and then you can really start feeling the effects.